it's good that we don't forget stuff. Sometimes things fade. You think about it. Some of you, a few of the older ones now may have joined right afterwards. You put in 13, 14 years. Well, I was a little baby XL at the time. It's been a while, and sometimes when things have been a while, we can miss the significance of them. And so it's good that we don't. It's good that we take some time. It's good that we remember. I'm glad that we see things on TV. We see people doing memorials and all that. And the lesson I take out all of it, the challenge is that when everything goes to hell, people look for two things. They look for their God and do a little praying. They look for somebody in a uniform. And it doesn't matter where it's this, firefighters, police. They look for somebody in a uniform. That 1% that serves.
At 8:46 on the morning of September 11, 2001, the United States became a nation transformed. An airliner traveling at hundreds of miles per hour and carrying some 10,000 gallons of jet fuel plowed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center in Lower Manhattan. At 9:03, a second airliner hit the South Tower. Fire and smoke billowed upward. Steel, glass, ash, and bodies fell below. The Twin Towers, where up to 50,000 people worked each day, both collapsed less than 90 minutes later. At 9:37 that same morning, a third airliner slammed into the western face of the Pentagon. At 10:03, a fourth airliner crashed in a field in southern Pennsylvania. It had been aimed at the United States Capitol or the White House and was forced down by heroic passengers armed with the knowledge that America was under attack. More than 2,600 people died at the World Trade Center. 125 people died at the Pentagon. 256 died on the 4 planes. The death toll surpassed that at Pearl Harbor in December 1941. 2001 9/11, 5,000 plus arrive in heaven. As they pass through the gate, thousands more appear and wait. A tall bearded man wearing a stovepipe hat steps forward and greets them, then says, "Let's chat." They settle down in seats of clouds. A man named Martin shouts out proud, "I have a dream." And once he did, the newcomer says, "Your dream still lives." Groups of soldiers in blue and gray, others in khaki and green then say, "We're from the Bull Run, Yorktown, the Maine." The newcomer says, "You died not in vain." From a man on sticks one could hear, "The only thing we have to fear." The newcomer says, "We know the rest. Trust us, sir. We've passed that test." A man with a twang from New England shores then proclaimed in a voice they had all heard before, "Courage like yours does not hide in caves. You can't bury freedom in a grave." A silence fell within the mist. Somehow the newcomer knew that this meant time had come for her to say, what was in the hearts of the 5,000 plus that day. In the land of the living, we wrote reports, watched our children play in sports, worked our gardens, sang our songs, went to church and clipped coupons. We smiled, we laughed, we cried, we fought. Unlike you, great we're not. The tall man in the stovepipe hat stood and said, "Don't talk like that. Look at your country. Look and see, you died for freedom just like me." Then before them all appeared a scene of ruined streets and twisted beams, death, destruction, rubble and dust, and people working just 'cause they must, hauling ash, lifting stones, knee-deep in hell but not alone. Look, black man, white man, brown man and yellow, side by side helping their fellow. So said Martin as he watched the scene, even from nightmare can be born a dream. Down below 3 firemen raised, the colors high into ash and haze. The soldiers above had seen it before on Iwo Jima back in '44. The man on sticks studied everything closely, then shared his perceptions on what he saw mostly. "I see pain, I see tears, I see sorrow, but I don't see fear. You left behind husbands and wives, daughters and sons, and so many lives are suffering now because of this wrong, but look very closely, you're not really gone. All of those people, even those you've never met, all of their lives, they'll never forget. Don't you see what has happened? Don't you see what you've done? You've brought them together as one." The man named Abe stood and said, "Welcome, my friends," and from there he led 5,000 newcomers, all heroes to heaven on this day of our Lord, 2001, 9/11.
ACU5, attend, HUD! When given the command to present arms, all hands will salute. ACU5, about, face! Present arms! Order! Arms! About! Peace!
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart. And it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Good evening. Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack in a series of deliberate and deadly terrorist acts. The victims were in airplanes or in their offices, secretaries, businessmen and women, military and federal workers, moms and dads, friends and neighbors. Thousands of lives were suddenly ended by evil, despicable acts of terror. The pictures of airplanes flying into buildings, fires burning, huge structures collapsing, have filled us with disbelief, terrible sadness, and a quiet, unyielding anger. These acts of mass murder were intended to frighten our nation into chaos and retreat. But they have failed. Our country is strong. A great people has been moved to defend a great nation. Terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our biggest buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America. These acts shatter steel, but they cannot dent the steel of American resolve. America was targeted for attack because we're the brightest beacon for freedom and opportunity in the world, and no one will keep that light from shining. Today, our nation saw evil, the very worst of human nature, and we responded with the best of America, with the daring of our rescue workers, with the caring for strangers and neighbors who came to give blood and help in any way they could.